This is called Spring Don't Take No for an Answer. Okay, shouted Spring. I know you're in there. Spring had the house surrounded. It had trees stationed all about my abode, aiming their apple blossoms straight at me. Already their perfume had invaded the room. I had turned into the incredible sulk, sunk into a blue funk there was to be no escape from. Even my reflection wouldn't look at me. Okay, shouted Spring yet again. Just look out your window. Surely you can see you don't stand a chance. I couldn't help myself. I gave a panicked glance. Platoons of daffodils waiting to charge the house, yelling in yellow. Okay, fellow, this is your last chance. I'm going to count to 10. All right, it's a fair cop. I'll come quietly. I kicked open the door, hands held above my head. The trees had me cornered. The sunlight had me blinded. Happiness, sheer bloody happiness, grabbed me by the heart. Okay, kid, easy now, easy. Spring soothed me. Everything's going to be okay, okay. I sobbed on his shoulder and threw my despair away. And this is called, oh no, it's not, it's gone. Oh, it's gone. Right, this is called Writing Barefoot. I was reading at the Opera House in New Jersey, and I got stopped because I bleeped. And I went in again and I bleeped again. I kept bleeping all the time. So the man finally said, "Excuse me, sir, but can I look inside your hair?" And all I had was all these curly thoughts. So I don't know what all that. But in Dublin, it's different. They play along with you. So this is called Writing Barefoot. Been frisked at Dublin Airport. What's that in your back pocket? An unfinished poem, I admit ruefully. Is it metal? He asks. No, it's mental, I tell him. You know, bunch of words hanging about on a piece of paper? Get on with you, he smirks. And next time, remove your shoes. On the plane, I kick off my shoes and finish off the unfinished poem. Now I always write barefoot. There you go.
Is that it?
Yeah, we've lost the echo now.
We've lost the echo.
Yeah,
we have. That's great. So our next reader is Jenna. Jenna Plewes, please.
Hi. Yes, it's lovely to be with everybody again. And I'm going to read one poem from my latest collection, which is that. Is that better? Anyway, it's the latest one from Hedgehog, who are finally retiring, which is sad. So the first poem comes from that, and it's a pantoum. The grip of winter's fingers on your throat, the slap and bite of air on cheek and chin, trees lovely in their bare simplicity, a tracery of branches, black on white. The slap and bite of air on cheeks and chin, a sun too weak to melt the fur of frost, a tracery of branches, black on white, a frozen world, padlocked without a key. A sun too weak to melt the fur of frost, hard nubs of hazel buds, a frill of aconites, a frozen world, padlocked without a key, waiting for warmth, the softening of spring. Hard nubs of hazel buds, a frill of aconites, needles of green pushing through muddy ground, waiting for warmth, the softening of spring. Catkins breathing pollen on the wind. Needles of green pushing through muddy ground, blackthorn flowering like fallen stars, catkins breathing pollen on the wind, newborn lambs with quivering tassel tails. Blackthorn flowering like fallen stars, the slip of winter's fingers from your throat, newborn lambs with quivering tassel tails, trees lovely in their innocence of green. So let's hope spring is coming. The next one I was going to read is about rain, the burden of rain. There's a rain that flattens harvest fields, cracks full-bellied trees, turns dirt roads into riverbeds, carries away bridges. There is a living in that kind of rain, blets cardboard homes like rotten fruit, dirties every cup, chills every sodden sheet, muddies every sign. There is a lifetime in that kind of rain, that feeds rank grass and creeping moss, bloats bullfrogs, strangles saplings, breeds a fungus of despair that softens the will to mop and sweep and clean. Only when clouds lift, wind rattles windows latches, slams doors, ruffles floodwater, will we begin to hope the sun will shine again. Oh, I hope it does. And the third one is about spring again. The stormtroopers. The tips of their spears are forcing their way through the frozen ground. Arthur's warrior knights are waking, marching to the tune of a warming earth. The retreat of winter has begun. They rise, stand tall, their weapons sheathed, until one blue sky morning, they raise their golden trumpets and blare a welcome to spring. There we are, that's my 3. And if anybody wanted the book, I put my email in the chat, because the books are sold for Médecins Sans Frontières and Freedom from Torture.
That was really lovely. Thank you very much. 3 poems to welcome in the spring, which hasn't yet arrived, but it's coming. It's coming. And we're welcoming Susan Jordan, not to read straight right now, but she's just arrived.
Hi.
So hello, Susan. And off we go. We're going to, it's Aaron. Aaron, would you like to read for us, please?
Yes. Hi.
Good evening.
Minneapolis is one of the Twin Cities, was home to Curt Swan, who drew Superman in the 70s, and of course Terry Gilliam. And of course, there was that famous Python cartoon, American Defense, if you remember that. And so now, a few weeks ago, on the US Labor Department X page, it said one homeland, one people, one heritage. And I was surprised they didn't sue the German government for copyright. Or the German government didn't sue them. But it's also 10 syllables, which the number of shots that killed Alex Pretty. So this is called the Prettiesburg Address. And I tried to do the sounds of the bullets. One land, one people, one heritage. 10 syllabullets shot out the muzzle of the right's rage, landed on the US Labor Department's X page, fueled global liberal outrage. The copyright lawyers' fury at the looted art of the slogan, Ein Reich, ein Volk, ein Führer, rejackbooted a Hulk Hogan, cut and pasted to Old Glory. 3 days prior to Holocaust Memorial Day, an ICU nurse who worked at the VA hospital, which might have treated some who'd been injured on D-Day, after they'd given their all in Normandy, fascism to slay. Intensive care nurse tending to a state's intense scare curse. A US citizen demonstrates First and Second Amendment rights, the right peaceably to assemble for the rights of huddled masses yearning to breathe free in the hidden face of the right. His country, right or wrong, if right, to keep it not far right, if wrong, to set it right. Applying protest pressures, trying to stem the flow, filming ICE agents on his phone. Other citizens remonstrated, the Constitution being castrated. The alleged domestic terrorist tried to shield a woman shoved by an Iceman with a shield. The nurse then fell to the ground under an ice floe, intent on aborting him, beat him all around. Unwell, unregulated militia whistleblowers in surround sound, his murder and ubiquitous cyber Petersburg address on TVs, phones and laptops, videos showing ICE in the role of the SS, causing in Appomattox courthouse walls another fissure. Licensed to conceal and carry 6 hour and 51 rounds, which maybe wasn't so sound. But if indeed he was there for domestic terror, why didn't the man from intensive care in that alleged deed of terror start shooting well before? The agent removed the gun from his waistband. Another agent drew his gun from his holster, ready to bolster the signing, not of any declaration, but a death warrant. 10 Luger signatures. 10 shots from the world. Get up. Oh. The last 5 from the chamber fired into his intensively shot body by one balaclava into 2 simultaneous opposite echo chambers. Luger antibodies virally splattered images through screens in hands around the globe. Some would smile, some spew bile, some it would rile, some think it vile that the Don Surly Ride was globally on trial. One Facebook binder posted, Pretty was carrying a cig, but Icemen shot him with their hiles. One of the Twin Cities gave us non-identical twin cartoonists who drew Superman and the Flying Circus surreal. Now it inks a bizarro Brazil, drawing American defense gunmen all dressed up like Harry Tuttle, but not quite as subtle. Domestic terror or domestic error? Who are the real puppets of domestic terror? ICE murdered the ICU, and I see you. We all see you.
Oh, yes, Aaron, you tell it how it is. That's very good. I enjoyed it the first time. I enjoyed it even more the second time with the explanation, actually. Thank you. And we're going to continue now with Susan. Susan, you just arrived in time. Great. Would you like to unmute? Susan Jordan? Susan?
Hello. Yes,
good,
I'm here.
That's good.
I was just collating my poems.
Well, it's good to see you. Would you like to read now, or do you want to wait for a minute or two? You can keep on
No,
to
I'm
the
okay
next
to
person
read
if you
now.
like. Okay, good.
Yeah. Okay. This first poem is called Reunion. I'm sure people are familiar with the phenomenon of the school reunion. A stand of cupcakes with our year of leaving on them reminds us just how old we are. Those girls I never really knew, looking just the same or so different, I might never have seen them before. Someone takes photos with an iPad that covers her face. People shrink back, ashamed of what their lives haven't been. They talk of husbands, children, grandchildren, careers in teaching, insurance, or finance. They go to church, live in Purley or Shirley. Iris is developing tourism in Mongolia. I say I published a poetry collection. Oh, didn't you always want to write? We mostly seem happier than we were, except for the ones who are ill or lonely. We name the few who have already died. Some are fatter now, others thinner. Some voices sound just the way they did. Most of us wear clothes we think are smart. We don't know this headmistress. The students who show us round walk with a confidence we never had. The food is better than school dinners. Instead of water in plastic beakers, there is wine in glasses. It makes us talk. And I realize I still have nothing to say to the people I had nothing to say to. I don't speak about the women in my life. On the train, Iris, the once archaeologist, tells me about digging alone on the Amazon. I don't ask whether she reads poetry. And the second poem is a morning prayer. I've called it January morning prayer, but it also applies to February. In dark awakenings, darker day ends, days guttering out before they should be done. Protect me, gods of weather, and the cold wind whose bite brings snow, from letting hope fall through me into the ground. Guard me from quiet despair of this year being different from any other, from sloth that muffles me when I remember this year may be one of the few still left to me, from giving up when I begin to see how meanly I've been portioning out the goodness I've had in my life. Open my eyes to things I love, newts, birch trees, fritillaries, rooks, sea below cliffs, the blare of gorse. Let my heart open its doors to the songs of birds and humans, to each sharp burn of pain and joy. And the last one is called Nocturne. I think the apple tree is dying. In the almost dark, a street lamp beyond the fence. Its ghost brushes, I'll start that again. I think the apple tree is dying. In the almost dark, a street lamp beyond the fence. Its ghost branches are crusted with grey lichen. A few twigs snake down, thin, maybe dead. Their tips glint like stars. Does the tree need real dark? In this tame night, I'm not cold. I have 2 coats on and the glow warms me. Next door's palm tree beckons my gaze, its bunches of fingers lit from below. Next door's conservatory is lighted glass, patterned in black with creeper. They're having a party. How can we be so raucous when a tree is dying that blessed us with more fruit than we could use? How can I stand here writing on damp paper on the wet wood table? White patches in the cat's fur are moon bright without the moon. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was quite moving, especially your last one with the, mourning for the apple tree. Yes, I've had an apple tree I've had to mourn for, and I know exactly what you mean, actually. Thank you. And so we're going to hear from Ray now. Ray Paul.
Hello there. Yeah, everybody, can you hear me all right?
Yep.
Yeah, good. Right, this first one is about a musical memory coupled with a visit to a friend of mine who's a musician, lived by the Thames, and so I've called it Musical Memories. Laleham, Shepperton, Charlton, Halliford, lying low and slow in their passing by, a watery wilderness and a weakening sky. Tracks of shared music, him and I, by dim age recalled, while the Thames flowed past his garden gate. Boats majestically spread their dreams while we dropped anchor in a quest for the past, squeezing bags into mugs with fondness like proper fellows, bereft of the sounds we had made under the spell of tea and marmalade. Thank you. Goes with the weather, I thought, today. And the second one is just what some people might consider saying when they run out of topics to discuss. But these are like peripheral things, and I've called it platitudes. At the end of the day, all things being equal, by and large, all things considered, when all's said and done, it's been a good day today. Can't argue with that, all agree, no doubt about it. The way things stand to be fair, all things being equal, a good day today. But they're not really equal, though. Days, I mean. That's true. That is a point. Some days are good, some not so good. I'll give you that. That's the end of that. Thank
Oh,
you.
Ray, you hit the head on the nail.
I've done it again.
That
Now
was
this
lovely.
one, this one was inspired by a knock at the door, who I took to be the postman. So I opened the door in all innocence, ready for the parcel, and I saw a rather disreputable character standing there, and I've called it Puffing Billy. Billy, born of backyards, scrapyards, with their tumble of caravans, dogs scouring piles of debris, he had burst like a missile onto the streets, equal to all challenges. Just passing, he said, looking up at the chimney with its missing pointing, something I had attempted years earlier, sliding backwards down the tiles. An offer of a quote, card pressed into my hand. I was an equal liar. Someone already booked, I said. If it doesn't work out, give us a ring. And like a puff of smoke from a stack, Billy was gone. Thank you.
Oh, that's great. Thank you very much, Ray.
Pleasure.
Lovely to see you. We haven't seen you really
I
for a couple of
know,
months, have
it's
we?
been
No.
sad, really, yeah, but
You've
yeah,
been busy, and you've got your meeting in Farnham, haven't you?
yes, I have,
And
yeah.
I gather that the Borough Beer House has agreed to carry on.
They were carrying on with provisos about the amount of people coming, justifying reserving a particular room that we like.
Yeah, and
They
of course
make,
we all have to drink lots of beer and things.
well, we'll have to put a big order in to justify it. Yeah. The trouble is the acoustics. If you're in the big room, then you probably might be. Although you did one in the big room, didn't you? I think that first one.
Yep.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyway,
good luck with it. Well, when the nights get lighter,
yeah,
we'll be along.
excellent. I'll really look forward to that.
Keep it going.
Thank you.
So now we have Chrys Salt, and Chris, you've got at least one new book out, haven't you?
Yes, I have, and I've got. If I get the MS through to my publisher by June, I will have another one, another one out. So I'm going to read a couple of new poems, which may get altered as they do from that, and then one from a very old poem, apropos of what we were talking about before. And this one is called The Fox, and it's in memory of Bernard Copse, who you will remember I read with in Guildford some time ago. A fox came to your funeral, stalked the undug field waiting for new burials, ears pricked at the thud of earth tipped from our trowels on you. I knew it would finish me, this stark goodbye amongst the dead that you were joining, and it did. Then spotting the fox, I thought how you would have liked that, how then and there would have written a poem on a receipt from Waitrose, a paper hanky on your skin, razor on fine hind legs to dance and prance, foxtrot trot between the bleak memorials, a spinning flounce, a bright-eyed orange, a pirouetting life force, a licking flame of tail, a creature of the wild. And how you would have said, as you said so often, how can I die? How can I be dead? A world without you in it, unimaginable. Then knew for all my life I'd never see a fox again without your fierce, bright energy inhabiting the untamed marvel of that dance. This one is very short and it's called Memorabilia, and this is the memorabilia I speak of. Both in hard hats, my granddad and his tortoise went to war. He had it in a kit bag with his car key. Maybe picked a lettuce for the journey. What was he thinking of? What youthful plan? Did he expect lush grass and dandelion? Only the tortoise shell came home, an empty helmet from the Somme. And finally, this is what we were talking about earlier. It's called Hymn to Mastectomy, and as I'm about to have one, it seemed appropriate. I wrote it a long, long time ago to a very dear friend of mine. So I want you to imagine, if you will, that you're in a ladies' communal changing room. Obviously not the men. Here's to the woman with one tit, who strips down to her puckered scars and fronts the mirror, doesn't give a shit for the pert, double-breasted wonder bras sneaking a furtive gander at her missing bit. Poor lady, they are thinking. Can her husband bear to touch her? Will she ever dare to wear that slinky, low-cut sweater? Here's to the woman with half a bust, who wears her lack of symmetry with grace, and moist with lust, offers a single nipple like a berry to her lover's tongue. Here's to the single-breasted ones, come home victorious from their wars, wearing their wounds as badges on the chests of Amazons. She ought to cover up. It's embarrassing. It's shocking. I'm sure she thinks she's very brave, but everybody's looking. Here's to those wondrous affrontages, out on the scene in sauna, pool, and gym, those who, when whole, were dying, now less than whole, become themselves again.
That is brilliant. I remember it. I think I've heard you read it before you knew that it might apply to yourself.
I know. I know, how ironic. It's a very old one from my...
Brilliant poem.
Brilliant. And so are the
Thank
other
you.
two. Yes.
And when
Thank
Bernard
you.
came down to read for us, we all fell madly in love with him.
Oh, yes, he
He
came
was
down.
gorgeous, lovely man.
He was very
Easy to fall in
bold
love
when he
with
came
Mr.
to
Cox.
Guildford, wasn't he? It was
Oh, he was my mentor. He was a dear friend, and I miss him every day.
And the whole audience that night fell in love with him too. They didn't know who he was, but he convinced them.
I think it was about 2015, wasn't it? It was about
I
10
don't
years
know.
ago. Because
But
we were in
actually,
the
I
Bar
think...
des Arts, which
Yes, that's right. That's right. And I
we
think
had to
he
leave.
was possibly... it was Wesker, there's Pinter, and Bernard Kopp, the three great
Yeah,
Jewish playwrights and
very
poets.
good. Very
And they're all gone, sadly, but I do miss him.
He was a lovely
Thank
fellow, but he was a gorgeous man in himself. He was just
Mm.
so much
And he was
himself.
still writing poems when he was, well, he was over 90, wasn't he?
Yes.
Oh gosh, yes, he was. Yes, he was. It was about
Nearly made
96,
the
I
He
think.
nearly killed himself in the car coming down. Or something. He had a crash.
Well, he was an absolute life force, and he did actually say, "How can I die? How can I be dead?" He couldn't
Yes,
actually
yes. That is the feeling.
imagine. Anyway, he lives
Your
on in the
poem
fox.
is wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Is
Chris.
it all right to leave them on the recording?
Oh gosh,
If-
I don't know what about the tits?
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't know. Don't see why not.
Okay, I don't. If you're
No, it's
if
not
you're
about the tits.
rough-
It's about whether
no, it's
you're going to publish them.
it's the first two that you haven't yet published,
Yes.
or which are coming up for publication. Will the publisher worry that you've
Oh,
read it on here?
If you
I'm
won't tell, we
sure.
won't tell.
No, I won't tell either.
And the tits are fine.
I don't think
You're
we're
all
that.
the
I don't
tits are
think we're
fine.
that famous that they'll notice either. So
Yeah.
okay.
I am doing some gigs coming up, and I did say, look, there might be less of me, but I will not accept a lower fee.
Well done. Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you so much, Chrys. Now then, is Jamie here? I haven't welcomed Jamie. Jamie Hammond?
Jamie.
Oh, maybe he didn't get the emails. Maybe they're going into his junk thing.
If he comes
If
back
he
in.
comes, we'll include him after that. Jamie Hammond. One time he couldn't make it, but he did apologise because his dog had eaten an onion and had to be taken to the vet. I shouldn't laugh.
Best
The dog
excuse.
survived. The dog survived.
Just.
But so we'll go on to Rosie Barrett, please. You need to unmute. Yep,
Not
you're there. You're there.
Sorry, I've got a new machine and I am not quite used to it yet. Okay, right. I will find my bits which are here. I'm in the Caribbean. Woohoo! So I've got one that I wrote the last time I was here and one that I wrote last night. This one's called Superorganism. Superorganism in a Guadeloupe garden. And it's subtitled Genera Atta and Acromyrmex. I think that's the scientific name. Silently, they pick a well-worn route. This army of farmers, soldiers, pest controllers. I sit carefully on a stump in the shade, watch the busy convoy of bronze ants, each bearing the neatly chewed off corner of a leaf, some twice their size. The line gets to the tiny stream and flows over itself, an ant bridge. Antennae held high, front legs gripping their load, they move as one, four legs synchronized to the ones in front and behind. Soldier ants parade up and down the line, keeping order, keeping this procession separate from the other, faster cohort, going in the other direction, who, their load delivered, moves freely and swiftly, guided by the scent trail laid by the scouts. Had I a magnifying glass, I'd see the tiny protector ants, minim, picking off parasites, keeping the colony safe. The leaf hoard will rot and fungus grow, food for the brood in the many chambers of their hill. So, and this one I wrote last night, because behind me, and you can't see it, we have James Dyson's big steam yacht. So, and I have entered this to something, but I don't think it matters because blah, blah, blah. Steam. Politics aside, the boy done good. His toys, those of an engineer, your dust, his gold. His great clipper-bowed steam yacht, Narlin, best of the best in her time, nearly a century ago. Converted, naturally, maybe not. Dirty engine room now shines, chrome and brass polished, sweat and coal dust no longer pungent in the air. No steam puffs from the funnel. Diesel and electric now, just the odd bar to signal I'm here. Okay. That one. Oh, I've got time for another, haven't I? And this is back to a dream, really. Waking, I know how I've dreamed of bats again. Waking, I know I've dreamt of bats again. I wish I knew what breed. Here and now we live with pipistrel, 2 kinds of horseshoe, long-eared and more. I was maybe 4 when my grandmother took me to the front door of her big old house in Hampshire to see them whirling in the dusk. I'm very little, and in my dream I still only come up to her waist. She died when I was 5, my father's mother. I wish I'd known her longer. In my dream, the sky's always clear, stars massing in constellations. The moon is nearly always full. I'm told the chickens, safe in their coop, are all asleep. Tomorrow, I will help collect the eggs, sliding my small hand under the warm bodies to carefully find my breakfast. Voila, that's it.
Thank you very much, Rosie.
Thank you.
Oh, we're all green with envy. In the Caribbean, indeed.
Ah, well, I feel very, very, very
You
privileged.
don't get
I
any
just
days here at the
really,
moment.
I really don't do
How
English
lovely, though.
winters, and
They really
we're in Devon, and it's been ravaged.
good luck with it, though. I'm joking. I'm not envious. I'm totally no. Yeah, I'm not
Yes,
joking.
he
I'm
is.
not joking. Have a lovely
It's
time.
lovely.
Though. Have
I
a
was
lovely time.
snorkeling and I saw 2 turtles today, and that's what I love about it.
Yes. Oh, lovely. Well, thank you for coming anyway. I
Thank
mean,
you. No,
I can
no.
see it's daytime there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's what, 4 o'clock in the afternoon or
Oh,
something.
that's right.
Yeah,
Right.
just right. Okay.
So, Timothy, would you like to read a poem? You tell us in the chat that you're reading someone else's poem today.
Bethany.
Yes,
Pope's.
yes, it's Bethany Pope, and she was one of our guests in the days that we were in the pubs. And then she went away to China and taught there for a long time. And she's come back to England, has a small son, and has quite a lot of difficulties. Anyway, a very brilliant poet. Listen to this. The poet's acrostic project involves 4 deconstructed acrostic sestinas, 24 double acrostic sonnets, and an acrostic specular. This is the acrostic specular at the centre of her project, which got into print. It's called Death and the Maiden, and the column first letters reads, it's in Latin, it's not only a hexameter, it's a palindrome. In girum imus nocte et consumimur igni. We go in the gyre by night and are consumed with fire. In the house of death, pain and pleasure are one. Never mind the face he wears, those bare sockets, that sharp grin. Grasp him hard, push against those jutting hip bones. In this tangle of sheets, scented with sex and rot, reason dissolves like bone in acid, revealing something else under the mask. There is something beautiful, madness perhaps, or possibly truth. In the joyful agony of this moment, a revelation blooms. Muscles crowd in to cover the bone, naked, under a sheen of silk and lily dew. Skeletal hands clutch fat round paps. Nearing the threshold of something unspeakable, open your eyes, behold your lover. Tension contorts the fibers of your heart, trembling limbs threaded together, a blissful arrhythmia. Even death can learn the pleasure of a shudder. Even death can learn the pleasure of a shudder. Trembling limbs threaded together, a blissful arrhythmia contorts the fibers of your heart. Open your eyes, behold your lover. Tension. Nearing the threshold of something unspeakable, skeletal hands clutch fat round paps. Under a sheen of silk and lily dew, muscles crowd in to cover the bone. Naked, in the joyful agony of this moment, a revelation blooms, madness perhaps, or possibly truth. Under the mask, there is something beautiful. Reason dissolves like bone in acid, revealing something else. In this tangle of sheets, scented with sex and rot, grasp him hard, push against those jutting hip bones. Never mind the face he wears, those bare sockets, that sharp grin. In the house of death, pain and pleasure are one.
Thanks, Timothy. And now we're going to hear from Sheila. Sheila Aldous, please. Would you like to unmute and read for us?
Thanks for making space for me. I much appreciate it. Thank you. First poem, and I have got three, if that's okay. It's from my book, While I Was Sleeping. I come from an Irish Catholic family, and my grandmother was very keen on the purity of the soul and the body, of course. My poor aunt had a child out of wedlock, and my grandmother arranged with the priest to have the child adopted. Actually, it wasn't that child that became adopted, it was the older one, and it was a very tragic story. But this book tells that story. Anyway, this is one of the poems from the book. Snowberries. You are, in your way, my winter's tale. You glisten like snowberries who lie in wait, wilding ghosts, scant of skin, thread gossip, hand me a tray of frenzied omens filled with scaremongering. Your suitcase rests stuffed with ivory shrouds you will forever wear on a journey that started out so well, free from gossip of a spring death. I reach up and find a spider in my hair, knitting me a trap on your threshold. It slips in a smile from your hiding place, so I will always know the very thing I've lost. Thank you. This one was in. It's been published. It's called Impression. At first light, take this carved path. Catch a whistle of the past from lost strata. Tread quietly in man's footprints, carved on hillside valleys where lifetime's cloak of blood were worn. Tors weep for man's absence through slated rock, noses of clitter, shale of litter, the only proof of a lifetime's spoil, of lift and drop of picks and shovels, breaking harsh backs, old with bitter rage. Like toppled statues drowned and chained, masters of greed walk oblivious to others' pain, their feet buried in Devon's silt of history, too late now to save their souls. So that was Lepicolata Barker, who published that for me. And I live on the River Tean, and so this is about that sort of area, really, with the rocks and everything. Hope this is not too long, but it shouldn't be. And it's sort of fairly topical now because it's a week in the cold, although we've got lots of rain. It has been cold. The winter dressed itself in a hat of cloud. The snow on Hator, a pom-pom of white dust that spread like icing sugar over roads and lanes. We took turns clearing the ice on the second day and sat inside with marshmallows over the wood burner, enjoying the seclusion, playing music, drinking our expensive Douro port from our first anniversary holiday, and making love. On the third day, we stayed in bed, watched the brush of Payne's grey casting its shadow. The gloom spread beneath the duvet. The wood store shrank, and we wore our coats indoors. We fought. The decision to go outside to fetch the wood, each other. On the fourth day, the snow on snow piled outside our door. The door was stuck, the last of kiln-dried oak soaking in the yard. So we burnt building dreams, house beautiful, house and home. Dartmoor Hills had sunk into the Tean. We decided when this was over, we would go our separate ways. On the fifth day, it really was the end. It was he who packed first. He filled cardboard boxes from the loft with Antigone and the Iliad, his Greek translations, and the complete works of Shakespeare. The last straw, my first editions of Harry Potter, I offered to burn them all. He offered to burn my clothes. On the sixth day, the clouds offered a blue patch with a tissue-pale sun. It winked at us through steaming glass, a jester expecting applause for his bad jokes. There was no sympathy when he limped off stage, and the main act oiled itself a brilliant canvas. The snow turned to liquid paper, and we covered up the scratches. Then, on the seventh day, we walked the hills of Hator, and he took my hand in the glove of his, as the scarf of the sky surrounded us. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sheila. Wow, what a journey. A lifetime of love in a week. Love it. Very good.
Distillation.
Thank you.
That's what the weather could do to you.
Mhm.
And now we come to Peter. Peter Taylor, are you ready to read?
I am, yes. Can you hear me okay?
Then we'll hear you next, please.
Do you hear me okay? You hear me? Thank you. Two poems this evening. I realise now that both of them have sizable references to leaves in them, but I'm sure it won't matter. A woodpecker called. Still September afternoon, sensed raw and set down, not pondered, slept on, has to be refreshed, but captured before its passage, and its one farewell. Such must be the ambition of many a breathless poet, as well as mine. But as words compete to cheat, I find that each line's embroidered unwinds, is breezed away. Let me feel the day. Sun warms my body. I feel it move around my shoulder, across my back. Simple nourishment by some maker of one made. I'd like to claim at least the link to know the wiser world, but so confusion. I'd like to claim at least my mind how to describe in the presence behind the tongue of countless aging leaves, with just a gentle wind of whispers and whistles, long sighing epistle. I look across lowlands with Druid's ring of trees that caps a higher point on distant red downs, undulant, shimmering, in end-of-day rays, keep a one-eyed watch on the ebb and flow of wide-eyed humankind, insistent that things be just so and just done like so, fitting the trees, forgetting the wood, and forgetting the flood. Then a woodpecker calls, rat-a-tat, wake up! But more than that, a perfect pitch from beak on hollowed pipe, or so it sounds. Hallowed, august, perhaps some proclamation, a lame to rest. Rat-a-tat, taps again. Louder, surely heard before. Might the clap of the call, one warning, wordless, warding away from the highest boughs of the forest floor, and then no more. No playback, no encore, no inspiring mimicry. I am caged by the question, what that meaning had that call? Which plan of mine to be stillborn? Which fate of man to kill us all? 6 taps enough to breach the wall built around us to keep it safe, separate, self-satisfied. Woodpecker flown, plans unscathed, eyes closed. I pray. No need to change today. Yeah. The second one is called Two Leaves. This is a love song. We'll bud green together, a fresh, bright green, and we'll be washed together by the same water clean. We'll be fed together by the same moist earth and light, and the deeper green will turn together as the days deny the nights. Yes, we will turn our backs together when the southwest wind blows strong. We will dance and twine together as it softens into song. And we will hide the sun together from our travellers' cool shade. We will help them rest together with every journey made. And maybe we will fall together, lightning sears the branch we keep torn together, will keep us close, perchance. When we see the greens turn together to reds and browns and golds, we'll play our glory days together and watch ourselves grow old. But we can't choose to fall together. We reach deep made autumn's end. It means that you'll leave on a different breeze and lose your love, your friend. So let's watch and wait together till the wind blows true. Letting go of our grip together, I'll fly away with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. That was a lovely love song. It's beautiful. Together, together. Loved it. Thank you. And now, Georgia. Georgia Hilton. It's the first time you've been to our Zoom, isn't it?
I have been before, but it was a really long time ago.
Yes, it's lovely to
Yeah.
see you.
Yeah, I'm sorry that I haven't been here.
That
very
doesn't, no, I'm not, no, I'm just so
But
pleased.
thank you for having me. Really, really appreciate it.
We appreciate you coming. Do read for us.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to start with the newer one, and then do something older. Okay. So this is a poem that was a runner-up in the Molecules Unlimited Prize last year. Sometimes I wish I could be the phosphorescence, lighting up the Andaman Sea. It's hard to think of anything more harmlessly delightful, more beautiful without trying, just life itself shining. Come into the sea, he said, and run your fingers across its moonlit surface. See the trails it makes, fireworks of such innocent silence. I'd never seen a glow-in-the-dark ocean. It almost made up for the fact that we'd been fighting all across Thailand. She said her name was Free, but it was Frances. She wore different coloured contact lenses. If only everything could be as transparent, as bioluminescent algae. To shine like that, be something that glitters, but doesn't promise more than it delivers. Something to guide a turtle hatchling into the dark salt water. Though the deep ocean is full of terrors for a baby turtle, it has no choice but to swim towards them. For the beach means certain death, while death in the sea is all but certain. So, like the turtle hatchlings, I swim towards him, because although he is unsafe, he is still the safer option. And this one is, you might recognise Janice and Dónall, because I owe you both a great debt, really, because you gave me my first opportunity and published my first poems and everything. And this one, I think, was a winner of your competition. Dark-haired Hilda replies to Patrick Kavanagh. On Raglan Road I saw you first, a dishevelled man with heavy black-framed glasses. So severe you looked, but you had a wound that made you beautiful. After we talked that first day, I dreamt of you. You were walking towards me, very fast and purposeful, with an intent that might have been mistaken for malice, had I not loved you. I abandoned caution at first, but my father gave me a great gift when he said to me, Hilda, you cannot eat words and air. So I became a doctor and married the engineer. But not before I had given you poems with your own name in them, given you my youth, let you open the catch to a window in my mind, thinking I would fly, but you had me chained to a pedestal. I, no marble idol, just a flesh and blood woman. And you were always an awful man for the drink. You said so yourself, Patrick. Oh, to think, I might have been one of those sorry women who follow their husbands to the pub screaming for them to come home before they spend the rest of the housekeeping. I might be a creature made of clay, Patrick. In fact, I'm sure I am. But you have a brass neck, calling yourself an angel. Thank you very much.
Oh, we love that poem.
Love that.
Yeah, you have a brass neck calling yourself an angel. Thank
And
you.
like I said, I'm really very grateful to both of you. So I was looking through my collected poems recently, and I realised how many of them you'd published or had been in one of your competitions and things. So I really do. You've done wonderful things for so many poets. So thank you.
Well, it's really nice of you
you.
to say that. And we're only too glad that people come along to this Zoom,
well-
because we love it every time.
Yeah, as well as being wonderful poets yourselves, of course. Let's not forget.
Oh, oh, come on. And our last poet is Derek Sellen. I'm sorry we left you till last because I know you've had a bad cold, haven't you? Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. I think.
So we'd love to hear from you.
keeps coming back, but Yes, Aaron read a poem about one of the victims in Minneapolis. And this is for the other victim that was in the news, Rennie Nicole Good. And the poem's called Ice. That she was a poet wouldn't have mattered to them had they known it. That she was a mother wouldn't have paused their trigger-happy fingers. That she was not a domestic terrorist, but a woman protecting others, isn't something they could have understood. She was a face behind a windscreen, blocking what they had been ordered to do. Then, ice by name and ice by nature, they pumped their bullets at a poet, a mother, a warm-blooded being. So sad. I'll read something a bit more cheerful to finish. It's about grey. We've had a very grey January here in Canterbury, I think all over. And February is just as grey. So this is called In Praise of Grey. And really, grey can be a beautiful colour. In Praise of Grey. Grey, grim, grisly, granite-hearted, not a colour, but a fade to blackout. It's a storm on the horizon, or the smog blemishing the day's detail. The suit of uniformity the adult wears, drab hair underneath dye, grizzled gravestones laid flat in moss and mud. The gun muzzle poking from a film noir, grainy monochrome image on CCTV, a mugging in a concrete and tarmac void. The god invites you down through all the hues. He slices open a pomegranate, its red radii glow. If you suck the juices, eat the seeds, succumb to darkness, then ascend, you will see the beauty of the grey. Sombre livery of gull and tern, limestone sea stacks and winter ocean, underleaf of poplar, river nocturnes, grisaille reflections in steel and glass of city buildings, slate and granite. Old age, not drab after all in the future's mirror. Grey, a meeting point, a possibility where black and white do not collide, but come to understanding. That's grey. And that's it.
Thank you, Derek. I'm actually a bit of a fan of grey, because grey is actually, when you're painting, there are hundreds of different greys. It depends how you make it. It's not, there are lots of different blacks actually too, so, and whites. So that was a lovely poem because you picked up on all that. Very good.
Yes, when we look out of our bedroom window, it's not a great view, but this time of year you can see the grey mist off the river and the grey of the hills and the grey of the hills behind the grey hills.
Yes, yes. So it's been a lovely evening. We've definitely the weather and the season have definitely had an effect on everybody tonight, haven't they? Almost, and of course the politics, because that was the other lovely poem, great poem that you read as Derek, about Minneapolis and Renee. So we've really enjoyed it. I hope you have. And of course, next month's meeting will again be on the 3rd because it's not a leap year. And we've got February, March the 3rd now coming up. So I hope that some of you will be able to come along and listen next time. I've already got one or two, I've got about 4 people for March, I think. But I am going to keep on making every other month, if people can bear it, read every other month rather than every month, so that everybody that on our list has a good chance of reading, because we've got so many people who are actually not always attending, therefore they've got to attend a bit before we're going to decide to include them over the people like yourselves who often do come even when you're not reading. So we're very grateful to you to come, for you to all of you
To
for
the
coming.
listeners, is there
To the
anybody
listeners,
there, to the travellers?
to the listeners and the readers, and keep enjoying your writing. And if you're blocked, don't worry, just wait and see.
Thank you,
That's what I'm
Janice.
doing.
Thank you, Dónall. It was lovely to
It's
be
not
here.
as grey as it looks.
Thank
I
you.
love
for
your
coming.
accent,
Thank
Dónall.
you.
I'll close the meeting now.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Night night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
I can't see through the chat.
How do you
Oh, there it is.
Oh,
Bye. Bye.